The first part of the analysis, I think, is to say there is a global political village of a kind that we've never known. And by that I don't mean that the representatives of 194 nations can meet at the United Nations. I mean that it is possible to have a single global conversation, not just involving elites, but involving hundreds of millions of people around the world. A single global conversation about human rights, about economic development, about climate change, about terrorism, about whether Manchester United are better than Manchester City this year. There's enough in common, there's enough common and shared understanding to enable a single global conversation. The danger of treating people and places as monoliths is becoming more evident. As you study the Arab Spring, let's call it that for the moment, the mindset of monoliths becomes less and less useful. And the importance of particularity, especially political particularity, becomes much more relevant. Anyone who spends any time looking at Syria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, immediately realizes how important particularity is. And in that sense, and you can sort of think, phrases like the Arab world, political Islam, hide as much as they reveal. There's as much difference within those categories that isn't properly reflected on. If you think about Europe, the phrase Europe, the continent of Europe, the difference within that continent, the different parts of China developing in different ways. And so the old slogan that all politics is local remains true today, despite the fact that we've got this open global village. And it's not a balance of power world either, because if you go to China, you will see, certainly through my eyes, remarkable transformation. But there's an insistence from Chinese leaders that they are not a superpower. They don't want a G2. They don't want to be thought of as the second superpower. And so it is a leaderless world in that sense. So what can we do about it? I think, first of all, remember our strengths in the West. The resilience of Western societies, I think, is very important not to underestimate. The attraction of Western societies, the openness of Western societies, and the ability of Western societies to rebound is very significant. Bob Rubin alluded to that today. Secondly, though, it remains the case that the setting of a global agenda is something that Western countries can do.